What's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in to As Deep as It Gets. Essentially, today's episode, at its core, is all about honoring my best friend, Patrick O'Donnell, and the brotherhood that exists around that. That's essentially it, guys. This one's for Pat. Let's dive in.
I can go back in time and erase it. Fighting demons, fighting cases, living through the walls of trials and tribulation.
Go deep. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dean here. Today's a special one, and I hope I can make it through the whole thing without crying. We're talking about Patrick today. And we're talking about the inaugural Patrick O'Donnell Memorial Golf Tournament me and my friends are hosting in his honor. And underneath all of that, we're talking about Brotherhood. I'm going to be honest off rip. April has been a very hectic month for me. Age 34 has been off to a busy and hot start. I had my mom's birthday, Easter, and then my birthday all in the same week. And honestly, it feels like from all that hustle and bustle and busyness, I never really recovered from it. And I just wanted to give a big thank you to all of you who wished me a happy birthday this year. I appreciate all of you way more than you know. While it's slightly overdue, I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I guess better late than never, yeah? Because honestly, I felt a little rusty lately. I'm not going to lie. I felt off. I felt like, I've let myself down with the podcast. I mean, just the typical stuff. I feel like I come here and tell you guys this every time I make an episode. And when you're struggling with it a little bit, sometimes you got to consult your people. So you got to consult the ones who really know how to put you in check. And I called my buddy Colby right before this podcast, and he put me in check a little bit. He reminded me about the real parts of myself, and that really got me thinking about, practicing gratefulness and the blessings I have in this life. And the biggest blessing I'd say I have in this life is my friend group. The one that, Patrick sort of anchored for us. And, well, let me just say I'd put my friend group up against anybody's. I'd even make the claim that I believe I have the greatest friend group ever. And I think I'd have to stand on that claim until somebody shows me another group of men who have really been best friends for 30 years. 30. I've had my best friends 30 years. And in a lot of ways, every single one of them is a part of me. So a lot of you don't know, and to get off subject for a little bit and make this a little bit about me, my best friends are everything to me. Patrick was everything to me. Colby, everything to me. Heath, Tyler, Dylan, Justin, Mason, Jake Ray, Noah, all those guys I graduated with, all those guys who are coming to Casey, everyone, I feel like a little part of me is with every single one of those guys. And I carry a little bit of those guys in me. The way that we grew up isn't really normal. It's far from it. And that's why I struggle, because it's so surreal, these bonds that I have forged through being part of the Shadyside community and growing up there, that my friends are my literal family. And like I said, I'd put them up against anybody. It just doesn't feel normal or casual or like lucky friendship. It feels forged by fire and like real love. And don't get me wrong, I know everybody loves their people, man. I get that. I love my people tons. So your crew is probably some version of mine, but they ain't mine. So all this stuff, you know, I'm just trying to get back to when I think about Patrick, I don't think about just, one guy. I think about a whole era of people and a whole feeling and a whole world of memories. Laughs and stories and nonsensical things. Pat was a rapper. Pat was a philanthropist. Pat was a golf professional. Pat was so many things. And I have so many memories of him with me. Pretty much every single one that I have is with him. So some days I wake up and I don't even feel like life is real. And then I feel guilty for feeling bad about it. I feel guilty because, I know that I didn't just lose a friend. Serena lost a husband. Kids lost their dad. Sister lost her brother. Brothers lost their brother. I mean, a dad lost his son. Like, that's what I mean. I struggle even, like, I haven't, I haven't dealt with it well. I don't even know if I fully processed it. I feel like I lost a piece of myself. And I know we all did. And that's why I think this is so important. Because Pat was one of those guys that made things lighter. He made things more fun. He made people feel good about themselves. He made people feel included. He's one of those dudes that when you say his name, people usually smile before you even finish your sentence. Like, oh yeah, I know Patrick. I know that guy. And that says a lot about who he was. And I think that part is why all of this has felt so meaningful. Is because, yes, inside of me and inside of others, I know there's, a lot of grief there. There's a lot of grief. Sure, we're all dealing with a ton of grief still. But there's also something else, this weird, beautiful feeling that, here's Patrick still pulling us all together. And man, that feels really good. Like, really good. And I haven't felt that in a while. The natural gravity and familiar energy of all my friends coming together and coming back into orbit to doing this scramble and, putting this on for Patrick because of how much he mattered to everybody. Simple as that. And I think that says everything about who Patrick was. Because some people, leave this world and all that's left is pain. But some people leave and somehow they still create connection, just as Patrick's doing today. They still create movement and they'll still create stories like we'll all have about this scramble this year. And it's going to feel so good just, coming together and knowing he's looking at us all. I think doing this with all the fellas coming together in the group chat has reminded me more than anything, not just of who he was, but who we are as a friend group and what we are as a brotherhood and a collective. And the word of the day today is brotherhood. And man, what a word. Because Patrick was the epitome of brotherhood. And that's why real brotherhood stands out, is because it's not really surface level. It usually comes out during times of adversity. It's showing up when things aren't so convenient. It's going through different seasons of life and somehow managing to stay, tied and interwove together. And I just got a couple words from the good book. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times. And a brother or sister is born for adversity. Because, you know, brotherhood always shows up when things aren't all fun and games. Pressure, change, grief, you know. Who do you call whenever you gotta move out of your place real quick, or, you're dealing with something with a new job change? You call your friends, you call the people who care about you. And I think another one that fits perfectly is Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That's brotherhood too. Real brothers, they sharpen you. They keep you keep each other sharp. They remind you who you are, and they pull the best out of you. And they don't always comfort you. And honestly, even now in his absence, it's just so great to see Patrick still doing that, pulling people together, making us step up, making us reflect, and making us come together for something bigger than ourselves. And it's powerful and real, and I think that's why this all feels so deep, because this isn't just, sadness. It's dealing with a lot, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm just going to go through some pics of, what a great guy he was. That's me, him, and Kolb, and Marty. What a great time. Me, him, Furby, and Kolb. Look, you got the Mardi Gras dressed up. That was such a good trip. And I'm so happy that I got to have the memories I did with him. Ben, Dean, Colby, Pat. The Rhombus, we used to call ourselves. Got Dill, Pat, Heath, Colby, Dean. Palmer Fest. One of the first times on a college camp, or no, that's a lie. Maybe one of the first times being 21 on a college campus. There you go. Me and Patrick shutting down prom. We're dancing to Billy Currington's Good Directions there. This was on Dylan's bachelor party, I believe. Looks like it. Great time. My guy. Another great one. Kolb's wedding. Me, Colby, and Patrick are in the 5th grade here. This was the first night I think they got to stay at my house. This is the night we came up with Friends Forever. Continuing to be friends forever. It was right around this time. Colby's mom, Patrick's mom, and my mom, we had all took a beach trip together. I don't know if it was coming after this or before this, but this was a good year. So this is that beach trip. Let's see, does Pat... So this was after this. I think we're older here. So, yeah, this is after this because Pat has his braces on. And I'm in the back. We put bubble bath in the hot tub. And we really pissed off the hotel staff and got in quite a bit of trouble with our mothers. I think that's at an after prom, I believe. Sophomore or junior year, because I'm not overweight yet. Look at that young lad. 3 young lads. This is a funny picture. We cut Liz out of it. Patrick and his beautiful wife, Serena. Dylan and his beautiful wife Cassidy, Colby and his beautiful wife Danielle, and good old Dina by himself, per usual. Oh, maybe one day. This was when Patrick was in town. We used to go get these signs, and we're at the shady spot here. And we might have been waiting on everyone, but I remember Patrick being like, hey, if I keep hanging out with you, Serena's gonna get fucking pissed at me if I don't get back to the house and take care of the kids. But I think he stayed for one more, so forever happy he did. And that's us doing the Friends Forever and me looking at the camera. Colby and Pat always used to make fun of me because I'd look at the camera when we used to make silly fucking movies we made, me, Colby, Pat, and Heath Brooks. We made 2 movies, Renting Mueller and Renting Mueller 2. I would literally cut off my right pinky to have Renting Mueller or 2, but I would just chop it off. If you would give it to me, I would chop off my pinky if you could give me Renting Mueller. This was that same day of that picture I showed. Prune gave me and Patrick, I think I got my first chest hair prior. Pat might have one too. Prune gave me Prune gave Patrick his boat that day, and oh man, you would have thought me and Patrick, oh man, that was one of the best days ever. I think we even got some girlies on the boat. Just kidding, we didn't. This was our dads. I'm glad that we have a picture, me, Colby, and Pat, with all our dads. You know, that's something. I'm sure we have one with our moms too at the beach, but that was prom, senior year probably, I'd guess. Yeah, probably. Oh man. Sorry to go through all those memories. I was just getting lost in, everything that we have done. But now back to the sponsorship tiers. Sorry for getting so lost in all the stories. I hope you guys didn't mind that too much, or that wasn't terrible podcasting, but probably was. Who cares? So that brings me back to the Scramble, the flyer, the sponsorship tiers, the planning, all the moving parts, because yeah, on the surface level, it's an event, golf scramble. We got flyers, tiers, logistics going in. We got food ordered. We got to get this ordered. We got to get t-shirts ordered. And thankfully, we have a great collective of men trying to follow in Patrick's footsteps to, make this as awesome as an event as we can. But please remember, we are not Patrick, and this is our first year doing this, and we will be doing our absolute best to make it as kick-ass as possible. And if anyone wants to help in any way, shape, or form, I know that your assistance would be much appreciated by me and the guys. So, but underneath all of this, it's love. It's people showing up, and it's people saying, we're going to do this right for Patrick. So, if you want to help out in any way or donate, make any donations, you can get a hold of myself, Colby, Dylan, Mason, and I just want you, if you've been seeing the flyers and the golf scramble stuff, this is your sign to get involved, because it's all about honoring Patrick the right way, and I'm certain that the outpouring of love and community will be nothing short of amazing, as it always is in Shadyside. So I really know I didn't even have to do this podcast, because you guys are the best. So I already know you'll all be there. But this is all about love and brotherhood, and about honoring one of the best men I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. So if you want to support us and support Patrick and support something meaningful, share the flyer, show up at the Scramble, buy some raffles, and be part of it with us to celebrate an amazing man, because one of the best things we can do for the people we love is make sure their name stays attached to something beautiful, and Patrick's name, more than anybody, deserves that. So let's go ahead and make this thing incredible. And really, that's what I wanted this episode to be. Not just an announcement, but just sort of reflecting on some pictures with Pat and, honoring him. And, this is all about Patrick and what he meant to all of us, and about what it feels to still feel him with us, pulling us all together. This is an example of what brotherhood looks like when it's tested by time and loss. And his name deserves to stay tied to something full of love. And I think the best part of all of this, at least for me, is being able to get back in touch with the fellas and start organizing and, getting something going together that's going to be awesome. That was so awesome that Patrick gave us one awesome thing to look forward to every single year. And I know we all had awesome times at his Scramble. So it's so awesome it's going to be so awesome to do it in memory of him, because I know he'd be so fucking proud of us all. And I'm so fucking proud of him. I miss him. I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. If you're listening to this and you got your people, just tell them you love them. Make the call, take the trip, say the thing, because tomorrow's not promised. And I know people say that all the time, but once life proves it to you, you stop sounding, so cliche. So if you've been seeing the flyers and the stuff, just I hope you guys will come out and support the Scramble, and let's make this thing exactly what it should be. A beautiful day and a fun day and a meaningful day for all of us, and a day Patrick would be proud of. I love you, brother. This one was for you. I love you all too. We'll see you Wednesday.